We're live. Welcome to Tab U.
Thank you for having me.
I'm Katrina. I'm the host, obviously. And we are live streaming from the FP show. And can I ask you to introduce yourself and where are you from?
So I'm Huw Meredith and I work at Colliers International.
And tell me a little bit about what Colliers do for the benefit of our audience.
So we're an international property service provider.
Yeah.
Covering sort of all different agency, professional, and then personally I'm in the valuation team.
And what does that entail? I guess, what's your day-to-day?
Day-to-day varies, but normally it could be get up in the morning, go into a site inspection, then get back to the office, maybe ring the bank, ring the lenders, speak to the borrowers, then sort of crack on with the reports.
Yeah.
And then after that, maybe doing some business development, ringing more people, speaking to the agents to see what the market's doing, especially the last few weeks. It's been a bit chaotic, so that's a key one.
One of our questions that gets set, we've got a live question for the audience. And one of those has been, what opportunities do you think will arise over the next 12 to 18 months that excite you and why?
Opportunities. I think maybe next year when the market settles a bit, there'll be sort of not distressed sellers, but there'll be a bit more. The last few years, everything's been going up essentially. So now there's a bit more creativity to be had. And hopefully that means we'll have a few more creative valuations to do or a bit more alternative. It's always quite exciting. Yeah,
and are you down on site usually yourself, or do you kind of do it? I mean, I guess over COVID we had automated valuations, right? Were you doing a lot of those? Are you still doing a lot of them?
So now we're all back on site normally. So unless there's some sort of circumstances that we can't get access to some of the accommodation, but normally I'm back on site seeing everything, walking around.
And how many sites would you do a day?
A day, it depends. If we're in central London or Greater London, we'll try and fit everything in a day to save it going back and forth.
Yeah.
There could be even sort of 4 or 5 properties in a day, depending on the location.
Oh wow, nice.
But same.
Best or most exciting property you've ever valued?
Big one on my feet now. Did quite a quirky laboratory space in Hampton once. That was sort of high-end research and all that kind of stuff. So
can you disclose how much it was valued for?
From memory, I think over 10 or something over 20.
Okay.
We did some bigger stuff as
Small
well.
Numbers.
Sometimes it's just the bigger number is not always the most interesting. So.
Fair enough. So, a couple more questions from my list. For young people getting into the space, tell us why they should want to come and work for Colliers.
I think it's a very sociable industry, hence today everyone's out. You're also meeting not just fellow surveyors and companies, but people like yourselves, lenders, brokers, borrowers. I think you're not just sitting at your desk, you're going out, speaking to people, doing the work as well, learning and developing, so it's multifaceted. So. Yeah.
And I guess we've talked about the opportunities. What are the greatest challenges that you're facing at the moment?
Probably, especially in the last month and a few weeks, is where value's going, what's happening essentially.
Yeah.
And everyone's asking us that question, we're asking everyone else the same. And I think it's more to do with people are selling buildings now. Are they selling because they're forced to sell it? So is that the true value, or are they just distressed?
Yeah.
And then we need to get a bit more backstory behind it. So last month and probably the next few months, is sort of understanding what is the value and where things settled at. It's a big key question.
Yeah, it is. I bet. I guess. In terms of the lending space, so we're a lender. We're a bridging lender, short-term finance, development loans, bridging loans. We also do property investment. I guess from the lending space, how much? Where do you think that might go? Where do you see it going? Do you see it growing? Kind of pausing? Is there still business out there?
Yeah, I think there's always business out there. I think everyone's probably reassessing now things what's happened the last few weeks, but I think probably the last few years, you know better than I do, that it's grown massively since I've started. It's not just the normal to the big banks anymore. You've got these a bit quirkier and a bit more interesting. But I think that's set to continue. I think people always want a bit more flexibility, and that's what most people here provide. So.
Exactly. And you guys host out of stand today, or just visiting?
Just visiting.
Just visiting. Have you got any other podcasts?
I haven't, just only
Thank
one.
God.
So
thank God for that. Hopefully this is the best.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about you. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given over your career?
Probably always to keep developing and learning, and not just academically, meeting new people, try different ways of working, try different ways of meeting people, different projects, all that kind of stuff. Don't be scared of doing anything essentially. So always try something different. And
if you could have a dinner party and invite three guests, who would they be? Usually it's one, but I've upped it to three because a dinner party with one person is just a date.
Exactly.
So your dinner party, 3 guests. Cooking a nice tart, maybe.
Okay.
Don't know if you like tarts.
Love tarts.
Good,
Who would
great.
get? Probably go for Louis Theroux.
Louis
I think
Theroux.
he'll have some good
nice.
interviews, good
Nice.
ideas about people he's met.
And create a bit of drama. He pushes people.
He asks quite sort of probing questions, but in a sort of calm way, which I think
Getting in a
quite
comfortable debate, right?
Exactly, so he'll be good fun. Then maybe Randall Fiennes, he's a bit older now, but he's an adventurer, gone to Everest and all that kind of stuff, so he'll have some, I think, very good stories.
I think Louis and him would get on well,
Exactly.
to be fair, as well, yeah.
And then someone else, who's the third on my list? Maybe someone topical. Maybe Zelensky, Ukraine president. Ex-comedian, so he could be very funny.
Yeah.
But then he could be topical, he's met Putin, all that kind of stuff, so maybe a bit more.
Not bad. Space for one more?
For one more.
Me.
Of course, yeah, both of us.
Great.
Nice.
Well, thanks for joining us. First guest, Huw Meredith from Colliers. And, have a great show. And hopefully you'll come and watch 1 or 2 episodes later.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.